Okay, so I'm going to ask a question that I think is going to generate a lot of arguments.
Let's do it.
I think I know what your question is.
Ooh, okay. Well, maybe you can ask what you think my question is going to be.
I was gonna say, is it like, what was the Hurt Locker?
Okay. We can talk about that first. Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's talk about that one first. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously it was the fucking locker in the movie. There's
There
like
is
one
an
locker
actual
randomly.
locker.
I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to generate any arguments. 'Cause I feel like that's the best one.
Well, but I think you could also say like, well, the Hurt Locker is just like being deployed and like, all the pain.
Get
and
out of here with
suffering
that boring ass answer.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're both fucking wrong.
What do
Are
you
you
think
ready?
it is?
The Hurt Locker is the nuclear family.
Ooh. F's in the chat, bro. Like,
How long did you just think of that, or have you been?
No,
sitting
that
on
literally, I was I had a sudden clarity Clarence moment. I was just like, where did he experience the most pain? The nuclear family. That's why he left. That's what the Hurt Locker is.
well, I kind of thought maybe, damn. Icy cold motherfucking
There it
takes.
is. Icy cold motherfucking take.
Yeah, we need a brr. Can we get like 17 brr?
We're gonna have a lot of
just one, but have it be 17 times louder than it has been. just blows out people's eardrums.
Ear violence was done. So like I kind of thought, because like Zero Dark 30 we were talking about earlier, there was like O Dark 30 that it was kind of like borrowed from. Maybe it was a Mandela effect, who knows? But like it wasn't a Mandela effect. But like I kind of was like, isn't there, maybe there's like an equivalent like for Hurt Locker, like it's just like an expression that people used about some particular thing and we're just supposed to get it if we're like army types or some shit. But I haven't heard anybody confirm that in any way, so
I mean, yeah, maybe.
maybe there is. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
This could be bad. Yeah, actually, maybe we should just look it up. I will say this reminds me of something you would hear playing high school football.
The Hurt Locker?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's something as fucking idiotic as that. Who knows?
Hurt Locker is a slang term for a place of deep pain and discomfort. To be put in the Hurt Locker signifies that something profoundly troubling or painful has happened to you. Examples of Hurt Locker. Oh, God, this is great. Ooh, I was in the Hurt Locker today with the mean 10-round chameleon/Komodo pyramid.
Huh?
What the fuck does that mean?
Alex, what website are you on?
UrbanDictionary.com. Oh, no, it's actually Dictionary.com. This is Dictionary.com, not Urban. I thought it was Urban Dictionary, but it's not.
Is it the Pornhub dictionary?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. The U.S. economy is in the Hurt Locker. One surefire method of breathing life into the economy is to bring down energy prices. Who says this? No one says these things.
David Brooks says that.
Oh, here's the Urban Dictionary. This might be better. Let's see. According to the writer-producer Mark Bowl, Hurt Locker is a military slang that means a bad and painful place. He said during an interview that EOD soldiers use it as a form of poetic understatement. If an improvised explosive device or IED goes off while you're not IUD, by the way, while you're trying to disarm it, the Hurt Locker, while you're trying to disarm the IUD, the Hurt Locker is likely to
Comrade
mean
Alex mentions that because he definitely mixed that up when we were talking about it right after the movie.
yeah, I accidentally said IUD and they like laughed at me because I don't know, maybe
he
it
felt
was a
deep shame.
Freudian slip. Yeah, I do. I always feel deep shame. But so this is good though. No, listen. So he says if an IED goes off while you're trying to disarm it, the Hurt Locker is likely to mean a white box draped in a flag and shipped home with your military honors and uniform and stuff. Okay. So the Hurt Locker is like the box they send your family when you die.
Yeah, a little bit of an
understatement. So Guy Pearce goes to the Hurt Locker.
Yeah, even though he was my favorite character in the movie.
He was mine as well. I remember, especially the first time I watched it, I was like, ooh, I liked it. And then as soon as he died, I'm like,
fuck.
Okay.
Like, great, 2 more hours of this bullshit now.
Over 2 hours of not having the character I liked in this film.
I was like, if it's going to be Guy Pearce like this the whole time, at least it might actually be a good movie. Yeah. But no, it wasn't. Too much to ask for there.
All right,
so,
well, I guess we
once again, Urban Dictionary, bestsdictionary.com for better definitions.
Endorsed by Red Library. Urban Dictionary over Webster's.
Sponsor us, Urban Dictionary.
Get that Urban Dictionary money up in here.
That Urban Dictionary
Become a patron, Urban Dictionary. Get access to this episode.
Become a patron and get access, and then sponsor us.
Yeah, then sponsor us. One of our patrons, if you're listening, send this to the Urban Dictionary people so they get us.
Link them the RSS feed. at them in the
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whenever I post the Twitter link, I'll add Urban Dictionary. All right, what's your question?
The
that's
question I was going to
generate?
ask is, which Kathryn Bigelow film is the best?
Oof. That's a hard one.
What?
Well, I mean, it's obvious what your answer's
I was going to say, we know what Cameron Adams is going to say.
Well, hold on a second. Whenever you say the best, what criteria are we using to evaluate by?
Well, I think everybody would have a different criteria and would have
What's
to
yours?
argue for it. What, movie or criteria?
Both.
And this is, I think, going to be controversial. I think Zero Dark 30 is her best movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna need some explanation of that, but okay, I guess I'll say mine.
Yeah.
Fuck, hold on, give me 1 sec. Let me just like refresh myself real quick on like what her
Let's just
fucking
watch her
actual movies
entire
were.
filmography over the last 24 hours getting ready for this episode.
No, I was fascinated because, you know, after watching Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker, realizing that like Point Break and like Blue Steel and Strange Days and like Near Dark, that those movies were also Kathryn Bigelow, was like, what the fuck? Like, how? But I don't know, you know, I think I haven't finished watching Strange Days, so I think it's unfair that I'm like saying that one is the one that's most fascinating to me. But it almost makes me feel like Kathryn Bigelow should have just like stuck with sci-fi and she'd be making like way more provocative and interesting movies today. But instead she went like super documentarian and like, you know, it's almost like the unconscious like giveaway. You know, it's like her Freudian slip was Strange Days, because it kind of shows like what she really hopes that people take away from her movies was just like, yeah, I gave you like the grittiest, most like fucking in your face, like POV experience that, you know, modern cinema can provide. And like, that's why everybody loves this. And that's what makes me kind of feel like there's that secret jouissance that like when people watch these movies, the secret handshake is like, you get to see them torture. You get to see them defuse the bombs and like shoot the brown people, you know? So like, yeah, anyway, that's my perspective.
I agree with that, yeah.
All right, my answer is obviously Point Break.
Right.
But but
Big surprise.
but to justify it, I'm going to read you a poetic description of Point Break from, I'm not going to name names here, but it's a blog from 2010.
Is it your blog?
It is my blog. Yeah. It's actually a Capillaries post from 2010. It's just all about Kathryn Bigelow and Point Break.
You just wrote a whole blog post about Point Break? No, I'm sorry. Dude, just go ahead and read.
All right, so this is going to really be the best explanation for why I think it's the best. Point Break is also dominated by the color blue, but it moves in yet another direction as everything comes out of and returns back to the element of water. Bigelow shows us the ocean and the beach as they have never been shown before. The images from this film that remain most in my mind are all those telephoto lens shots of waves breaking on the shore. Though the images of bank robbers and presidential masks are also pretty wonderful, especially the shot of Reagan as cheerful incendiary. Surfing and skydiving are both modes of activity in which beautifully vapid male bodies give themselves over to the primordial elements. The homoerotic tension/attraction between Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze is itself immersed in the dynamics of waves and water. Surfer hedonism is taken up and transcended by the universal upswelling of a...
Oh my god, dude.
Hold on, I gotta read the sentence without...
Please make it through. Sorry.
Dude, the last two words of the sentence are just like, I can't, I'm like locked on them and I'm scared to even read it. Here we go. Surfer hedonism is taken up and transcended by the universal upswelling of a fluid dynamics. Water is also central, this time in relation to female desire and oppression and resistance and the weight of water. Which is, I guess, another Bigelow film.
Yeah, The Weight of Water. That's what I was going to say. That's another Bigelow movie.
But I've only seen this once, when it first came out, so I cannot say very much about it. I do remember a kinetic moving camera and the splashing of waves against the boat, but that is about it. And that is why I think Point Break is the greatest Kathryn Bigelow film. Because of its fluid dynamics.
Fluid dynamics, man.
I don't know why. The idea, just the line that Bigelow shows us the ocean and the beaches they have never been shown before. Just, I fucking had a brain aneurysm reading that.
I'm just thinking now of like, isn't it because of fluid dynamics that like really strange things happen? Like if you have certain momentum going in one direction, that like the way that the air is moved in a room, that like something could like something lighter than air or like a liquid, something floating in liquid would move opposite to the momentum. I don't know if you heard any of that because I wasn't speaking into the microphone, but like I think that like there's something about fluid dynamics that it can make objects that are suspended in the fluid move in the opposite direction to the momentum of the object, the greater object that's moving. I don't know. I might just be crazy and imagining things, but like that'd be really interesting. You mentioning fluid dynamics, because in a sense that's kind of what Bigelow's doing, right? She's kind of like pushing forward with a certain kind of momentum that like makes it seem as though the train is going to arrive at a certain station, but all the while you're the thing floating in the fluid that's moving in the opposite direction, right? Like you're actually able to like experience the opposite emotion of what you're officially sanctioned to experience by watching the movie. Like,
huh?
I'm just gonna leave that one. I don't know that I can necessarily.
Sorry. Hold on. Like, what is the officially sanctioned feeling that you're supposed to have, and like, what do you think the audience feels?
The officially sanctioned feeling you're supposed to have is that you're supposed to feel bad because like these people are having to experience like this hardship and traumatic experiences at war. And, you can go into the movie and come out and just like tell all your friends like, God, man, war sucks. But like secretly what you really did is you just went into a fucking room and you watched a bunch of people get tortured and murdered. And at the end of the day, you don't feel any worse about capitalism for it or any worse about our government for it.
I guess like I can see what you're saying for Zero Dark 30. For the Hurt Locker, like there's a lot of war movies that try to be anti-war. I feel like Hurt Locker doesn't even attempt to be anti-war.
No.
Well, like that. And so like I don't really feel like you're even supposed to feel bad. I think you're just supposed to like, you're supposed to be like, yeah, this is badass. Like, you go defuse that bomb.
Even for Hurt Locker, you don't think he was supposed to feel bad?